Welcome back to Romance in the Wild. This is your girl Charlie. Today we're going to do an office romance, which is also a romantic comedy. This is The Billionaire's Wake Up Call Girl by Annika Martin. Hit it!
Grab yourself a book, turn the lights down low. It's time, everybody, for Romance in the Woah.
The Billionaire's Wake Up Call Girl by Annika Martin. Now, this is office romance, but also it's a romantic comedy. So, this is the story of Lizzie and Theo Drummond. I love that name, Theo Drummond. Anyway, so the backstory is that Lizzie has lost all of her money because of an ex-boyfriend. She lost her business, so she's starting up this new job, and she's gonna be like a social media person, and she's working for a billionaire CEO chemist named Theo Drummond. Now, Theo Drummond, of course, is a billionaire. He's handsome. He's also very stern. He's very cold. He's very antisocial. This is not someone who has a lot of friends. He only has a sister. He has no other family. And he's kind of known around the office being kind of like an Iceman, right? So Theo, when you see Lizzie, didn't think too much about her. He thought she was attractive, but then she kind of changed. So with Lizzie, the thing is, she's on a probation period. Now, when you start a new job, you have that time period where if you mess up, they can fire you and you don't get your sign-on bonus. So Lizzie really needs this. Because the thing also with her ex-boyfriend is he went to loan sharks and he got all this money, but he put it in Lizzie's name. So she's already had to pay them some money, but it's a lot of money, like pretty much she has to pay for it the rest of her life. And they've already said, hey, if you want to prostitute yourself, and she, we'll forget the debt, you can work it on your back. And she's like, no, she's not that person. So she's a very determined person. She's very independent. She's hilarious. She's very sweet too. And she's very caring. I really like her character. So I think most people will. So what happens is that Lizzie has a boss above her named Sasha. Now, if you have a job, there's always the boss's boss of the boss. And she's at the bottom of the totem pole. And her boss's name is Sasha. So Theo's told Sasha, hey, I need a wake up call girl in the morning for 4:30. Now, for those of you who are probably in your 30s and below, you're like, what is that? So back in my day, what they had was you had these companies and you would hire them and they would call you up on your phone at a certain time to wake you up. Now, you're probably going to go, why wouldn't you just have an alarm clock? The reason behind this is because a lot of people would just hit the snooze button, go to sleep, and they just keep hitting it and never wake up in time. So a lot of people in my generation, they would have to have someone actually call them up and verbally talk to them and wake them up. So as you can tell, it's 2023. We don't really have a lot of those companies. So Lizzie's job is to find one of those. She can't find one, so what does she do? This is hilarious. She decides to become Operator 7, and she's now the wake-up call girl, but Theo doesn't know it. So when she calls him the first time at 4:30 in the morning, she's very sassy, she's very sharp, insulting, but he doesn't know who it is. He just knows it's Operator 7. But he's actually kind of intrigued by it. And this book starts the beginning of the first part of the book. Now, I love this book because it's actually kind of in two parts. You have the Lizzie Operator 7 and Theo part, and he's determined to find out who's Operator 7. Because, of course, the conversation turned a little sexual, a little flirty, and things start being said. But also you start learning more about Theo, his personality-wise. Because he's not this Iceman. He has all these emotions. He's very controlling, very dominating, okay? But also, he's actually a very soft person inside. But with Lizzie, Operator 7, he feels like he can be his true self. But he's going insane because he wants her. He wants to find Operator 7. Because everyone else always treats him a certain way in the world. Because he's a billionaire CEO chemist, and he's found all these formulas that save people's lives, and that which is commendable. That's wonderful. But the thing is, because of that, they treat him almost like he's and he just wants to be like a normal person. Because him is a job. He does it. So what happens in the first part of the book is Operator 7, Lizzie, and Theo, and him trying to find her. Now, the rest of the book is even better because when he finds out who Upper 7 is, it's that part of the relationship, you know, them talking to each other, him stalking her, her resisting, but then falling because he's amazing. She's hilarious with him, and you find out so much more about his backstory and her backstory, and it's so beautifully well written. I love the conversation between them both. Again, it's hilarious. I love when they add so much personality to characters because so many times they're so bland. But this is so well written. Annika Martin does a great job with this series, and this is actually just book 1. There's actually a series. I actually found this like a couple weeks ago, and now I'm hooked, so I've got to get the rest of the series. I'll be posting them pretty soon. So if this sounds like any kind of interest to you, which it should, because it's amazing, then you need to go out and get The Billionaire's Wake Up Call Girl by Annika Martin. Get it today. Now, if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can actually get this for free. And normally that's what I do. I go to Amazon, I do that. I'll get it for free. I read a book, and if I love it, which I love this one, then I buy it. So I tell you, go do it. It's the best thing in the world. Read this book. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. Thank you for checking out my video. If you like it, please subscribe. If you have any comments, if you have any books you want me to read, please tell me. I love finding new writers and new books, and then I'll bring them out to other people, so hopefully we can kind of go back and forth and help each other. So, also, I want to say a big shout out to our sponsors, which is Derby City T-shirts. This is one of them, and you can find Derby City T-shirts on Etsy. So, until next time.